Welcome to Survival Theory. So you go out into the woods, out into the bush, out wherever, and it looks like rain, but you want to set up a shelter. So today we're going to set up a shelter that protects you, some extra firewood, your gear, and your fire all in one. It's pretty roomy. It's a good setup. So let's get busy. So here's where I'm going to set up. I've got this small tree right here, and I've got a little group of trees right there. They're about 12, 13 feet apart. That's flat ground right there. So this will work great. So today I'm using a 10 by 10 AquaQuest lightweight steel nylon tarp, multicam, and in here I've got 4 stakes and a little bit of ridgeline. Other than that, I might use some bungee cords. That's it. Of course, instead of metal stakes, you can just grab 4 sticks, carve you some stakes, whatever. And you may not even need this ridgeline if you have a couple bungee cords. So because I'm using this tree and that clump of trees there as my ridge line, I want the middle of this tarp on that side and the middle of the tarp on this side in line with those trees. So here's the middle. It's about in line with those trees, and the middle right there is about in line with those trees, so that'll work. So for rapid deployment, I'm not even going to have a ridge line. I'm just going to use these 2 bungee cords, quick and easy. So I'm just going to grab the center of this side. There's a loop there. Put it around this tree. I want to be about 5 feet up. Because remember, we're building a fire under this. So about 5 feet up. And 5 feet is pretty important, not only because of the fire, but because of the length of your side of the tarp, which is 5 feet because this is a 10 by 10. So let's go to the other side and do the same thing. So going to the center of the tarp, 5 foot in from each edge. Same thing. I'll just throw my bungee through that loop and go up around this tree about 5 feet. That's really stretching it. That's tight, and it's about 5 feet up. So that was real quick to just grab the bungees, tie them to 2 trees, about 5 feet up. Now I've got 4 stakes here. We'll go to the center down here. Kind of get that set up, pull it tight. Do the same thing over here. So you're going to have this rear flap. Don't worry about it right now. So I've staked the back. Now I've got this sidewall to stake down. I want to come about a 90 degree off the back. I don't want to flare it out like that, because I'm trying to put a fire under here. I want to maximize my ridge height. So I'll pull it about 90 degrees, stake it down, pull it tight. Now, it's easy to adjust this ridge height because I just use bungee cords. So I'll raise it up till this sidewall gets tight. Easy, easy. Now the sidewall is tight. So let's go to the other side and do the same thing. Alright, so same thing on this side. I want about a 90 degree from that corner. I don't want to flare it out because I need the ridge height. So about a 90 degree, pull it tight, stake it down. Now I'll adjust my ridge height to get this sidewall tight. And because I'm using a bungee cord, it's pretty easy to do. There, that's nice and tight. Now once I get that front set up, I can adjust the back here. If I need to spread it out a little bit. But that actually seems pretty good. So this setup is similar to an Adirondack tarp shelter, but it's a little bit different in it's maximized for height due to the fire underneath. So we've got 5 foot from the ridge line to this corner because our tarp is 10 by 10. We'll take this flap here, run a cord through it. I'll just put a little toggle in there with a little stick. You can use one of your stakes, tie it to there. You can pre-tie this so that when you set this up, you've already got a cord attached to your tarp. So now I'll pull that tight. I'm going to angle it up just a little bit. Get it real tight, and I'll tie it off to this dead tree right here. So there we go, it's set up. Plenty of room under here, that's for sure. Plenty of cover for the fire. It's a little bit over 5 foot up at the peak. Look at all that room. So what about this extra in the back? Well, you can tuck it in. Now on the inside, you've got a place to put your gear, stack firewood, or whatever. If the ground is wet, you don't have something on the ground for yourself, you can curl up on that. Now most of the time, I do not like to tuck in the extra when it's raining. I like to leave it out and even stake this down right here. Pull it tight and stake it down. Because what that does, it's raining. So the water that comes off this, I don't want it hitting the ground right at the edge of my tarp at the interior. I want to bring it all the way out here, away from my tarp, away from my shelter, and let it drain or soak out here. And plus, I can definitely put my gear under all this as well. Stack firewood, whatever I need to, so it makes for more room on the interior with this closet area, and it lets the rain run off farther away from the interior, especially if this is slightly downhill, which this is. Now something else you can do, if you're sagging in the middle because you don't have it square, on this tarp especially, I've got a loop right here, or you can get a small rock, a marble, something like that, put it in there, tie it off and pull this out, tie it to a tree, run it to a stick and then down to the ground. See how that pulls that up? Gives it a little bit more room, makes it a little bit more taut. But I'm pretty tight there. I don't need it right now. Now to keep my gear from getting wet while it's under the tarp, you know, from ground moisture, whatever, in case water runs through here at night, I prefer to put something down that raises it off the ground and set it on top. Water can run right under that, no problem. So I'll just take this piece of log, put it down there, and then just set my backpack on top. No problem. Oh, that bird nest is soaking wet. Can't use it. Stickers. That's wet too. Dang, bummer. So you can see I've got a pretty decent stick fire there. Now I could boil water, set up some logs, put a grill there, do some grilling. And the flames are going at the most halfway, or almost halfway, to that peak up there. And it's a little warm, but that's about it. It'll be fine. It's not getting too hot. And if it was raining, it would cool it down even more. If it was colder, it would cool it down even more. But I've got plenty of space there away from the fire. It's not filling up with smoke down there where I lay, because the smoke's going to rise up and exit. And that's about the biggest I would want the fire. That's not going to hurt the sidewalls or the roof at all, especially if it was raining. So just to recap, there's a corner of the tarp, and there's a corner of the tarp. I staked down the middle on each side. I staked down the corner for the wall, and it's going up to this point. There's the other corner. There's the other corner. My ridge line is the middle of the tarp. Same thing on the other side. That makes a pretty big flap. Similar to the Adirondack, but this is designed to be tall with the bigger flap for the fire. More than enough room. You can pop this middle up if you feel you need to, but if you get it tight, you really shouldn't need to. And again, I like to hang mine out, all this extra material, to keep the water running away from the interior. And it makes a closet on the interior. Plenty of room. So I need to clear all the organic debris between me and the fire and collect some more wood so that when it starts raining tonight, I'll have some dry wood I can put on there. I don't want to build it up too high, but that's a pretty good fire for cooking and staying warm. I can feel the heat. And the smoke doesn't go this low, so I'm smoke free in here. Yep, this will work. Well, thanks for watching Survival Theory. Be sure to like, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Is that recording? Dang cars, it sounds like they're 30 feet away. Gee whiz. It's hard to get back to nature sometimes.